And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is the acronyms part 2. Now, this is not going to be a complete setup of every single acronym that you could possibly ever imagine, but this is going to be a pretty fun way to go through some of the basic heroes, their acronyms for their hero names, and then some of the other terms and abbreviations that are within the game that we want to go through. So the first thing we're going to go through is a few heroes. So let's go ahead and do hero name acronyms. Let's get the drum roll going. All right, Admiral Akbar, AA equals Admiral Akbar. B2, HKIG. These are all droid names that are going to precede a specific name, such as B2 Super Battle Droid, HK47 or IG86 or IG88. The HK stands for Hunter Killer, and IG stands for Intergalactic. Cup. Cup stands for Coruscant Underworld Police. EE stands for Ewok Elder. EP, Emperor Palpatine. Fives or fives equals CT5555 fives. FOO, FOO, First Order Officer. FOTP, First Order TIE Pilot. GG, there's a couple of characters that go by that, the Grimorian Guard and General Grievous. GS, Geonosian Spy or Geonosian Soldier. HRS, again, another one, Hoth Rebel Scout or Hoth Rebel Soldier. IGD, I'm a Gundai. JC, Jedi Consular. JE, Jawa Engineer. JKA, Jedi Knight Anakin. JKG, Jedi Knight Guardian. LUMI, LUMINARA Unduli. QGJ, Qui-Gon Jinn. RG, Royal Guard. RP, Resistance Pilot. Sid, Starks for Darth Sidious. They like to just use Sid. STH or ST Han, Stormtrooper Han. TFP, TIE Fighter Pilot. Wigs, the combination of Biggs and Wedge. Chase, the combination of Chirrut and Baze. There are so many more hero name acronyms we could go into. There's over 100 characters in the game and they all have acronyms, but there are some basics, some of the more popular characters that you're going to hear. So that is that. Now let's go into some terms and abbreviations. So buff. Buff is essentially to improve the strength of a hero or an element within the game. It's going to make it better. A buff is good. It's a beneficial effect on that hero, such as evasion up. That means your hero is going to have a 25% evasion chance greater than what he had, such as what Luminara puts on herself. Crit. A lot of people use crit before they say like crit damage or crit chance. Crit stands for critical. Critical a lot of times is used as in like critical shots or critical damage, but crit means more damage. It's critical damage. Dailies. When people are referring to dailies, they're talking about the daily activities that refresh every day that you get to do, such as the challenges, daily activities, and the guild-specific dailies. Debuff. The debuff is opposite of the buff. It's an effect that has a negative effect on a character. For example, ability block. That's a debuff that Luminara, again, can put onto an enemy, resulting in that target being unable to perform an action other than their basic attack. Glass cannon. Glass cannons are basically really, really squishy characters that can do a high amount of damage. Some examples of glass cannons would be Rey or IG88. Any of those characters that are quick and easy to kill. They're squishy, so to speak, but they do a high amount of damage. Grind. A lot of people talk about I had to grind to get them, I had to grind to get them. It's also known as farming. Grinding is doing the same activity over and over and over again to obtain a specific item or character. LVL, just short for level, like a character's level or a player's level. Meta. Now, when people talk about the meta, not normally what they're talking about is specifically the meta reports on swgoh.gg. More specifically, they're talking about what characters are being used as leader and what characters are being used in the top 10 top characters. This changes all the time. It's an ever-evolving thing, but for example, the Empire meta. It means that there is a lot of Empire characters being utilized right now by the top 1, top 10, and top 100 character players in the game. So they make up the meta. They make up what's popular. What they use is what's popular, and what's popular is what's meta. Nerf. That's to reduce the strength of a hero or a particular game element. Essentially, it would make it worse. And that's not always the case. Sometimes nerfing something is necessary because it's needed, but a nerf would be to change it. PROC, P-R-O-C, that stands for Programmed Random Occurrence, but essentially if something procs, it goes off. So in effect, that has a percentage of chance to occur. When that percentage of chance triggers, its programmed random occurrence happens, or it procs. Raid gear. Those are the pieces of gear which are only obtainable through the raids. So those pieces of gear that are only available through raids, that is the definition of raid gear. Shard. The shard, apart from what you actually use to level up your characters, they have shards and you get so many shards to build a character, is actually referring to the leaderboard that you're actually on in the squad arena or in the ship's arena, and they call it a shard or a leaderboard that you're on. So the guys that you're facing against in your leaderboard every day in the squad or the ship's arena, that is your shard. STR, AGI, INT are all short for strength, agility, intelligence, respectively. These are all character stat modifiers. Squishy. Squishy just means the character is generally easy to kill. There's not a lot of defensive capability or any health involved. It's just a character that you can kill pretty easily. Most characters defined as squishy have well under 15,000 base health. Toon. Another term for a character within the game. A lot of people don't like the term toon, but a lot of people use it because Clone Wars is a cartoon. Hence, they're referring to the cartoons, the cartoon characters that are within the cartoon, or the Rebels, Star Wars Rebels cartoon. So they're referring to the toons or the cartoons that are within there. But that's just another term for the characters that are within the game. WAI. That literally means working as intended. For example, they make a change in the game and somebody says, hey, are you sure this is supposed to be this way? And they say it's WAI, means it's working as it's intended. Whale. A whale is someone who spends significant amounts of money in real life on the game. Dolphin. Somebody who occasionally spends small amounts of real life money on the game. Zerg. Zerg means basically when everybody in the guild is allowed to attack a raid at the exact same time. It's like a blitz or a Zerg. It's a blitz. It's everybody attacks at once, all at once. And last but not least, ZETA. The ZETA ability. So ZETA is simply put is a piece of an ability mat. There are 5 levels of ability mats. The Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, which is the green Mark 1, blue is Mark 2, and 3 purple Mark 3s. And then it goes to the 4th level, which is Omegas that are gold, and the 5th level, which is the purple Zeta, often referred to as a Zeta, but we'll call them Zetas for the purpose of this video. So that are some of the basic terms and abbreviations. There, I am sure, are other terms and abbreviations used within the game, and I'm sure there are plenty of other characters with short acronyms such as the new Sith, the Sith T, ST, or the Sith Assassin, SA. There's going to be an infinite amount, but what they're doing is taking the characters, terms, and abbreviations and just creating them as they play. The last thing I'm going to say about Zeta, and you're going to see this a lot, is a character has a name and you see a lowercase z in front of his character's name, or you see a lower z after it. What that means is if it's before the character, such as a lowercase z Vader, that means that he has his leadership ability ZETA'd. If the Z comes after the name, that means it's one of the unique abilities or special abilities that's ZETA'd. So if it's Vader, they'll have a Z Vader. Some people shorten it up even more and say Zader. However, that can get really confusing when every single thing in the game, everything's changed with a Z. So what the consensus is that you want to maintain the name of the character without changing any of it, and then just change or just add to the beginning or the end the Z lowercase to signify whether it has a ZETA as a leadership ability at the beginning or a Z at the end for a ZETA unique or special ability. As always, I hope that you guys love this video. I hope this helps some of you out, clear up some of these terms and abbreviations. If there's any of them that I missed or ones that you would like to add to this, please leave them in the comments down below. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.